Hi everyone, it's Terry here showing another process video for Peartree Cutfiles. This time I'm using the Builder Gardener set and I've cut out the gloves, the trowel and the fork from white cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do is use some silver paint and I'm going to paint the metal area of both the trowel and the fork. And I do give it a double coat so you can try and see the metallic finish. It's difficult to see on the process video, but hopefully you'll see it more in the photos at the end. So now I'm going to back my cut out gloves with this patterned paper. So I'm going to have the kind of blue gingham for the main section of the gloves, and then I'm going to use that floral for just where the cuffs are. So the first thing I've done is I've drawn round the gloves and I'm just cutting them out. I like to use my bigger scissors if it's not too much of a fussy pattern. So that's that done, and now it's a case of just drawing around the cuffs. So because it's already got that big section, you don't need to be too neat about where the top is. So I'm also going to back the handles of these items with the same patterned paper so that they all coordinate, and then I do back the fork with some of the vellum. So I find the easiest way to do this is to just draw around both the outside and the inside lines so that I know exactly where to cut kind of in the middle of those lines to make sure that it all fits within the area. And once they're all backed as I want them, I'm just going to work out how I want to start to put my layout together. So I kind of think I want two clusters, one with the fork and trowel and one where the gloves are. So I do later take the gloves and stitch round them, but to start with I'm just working out what bits I want for the background of this pattern, from this patterned paper. This is the cut apart sheet from the Bunnies and Blooms, or Blooms and Bunnies collection from Simple Stories, and I just want to use some kind of rectangular pieces of patterned paper to build up layers underneath where I want my photos and my cut files. I can't get my words out, apologies. So I want to try and pull in all the different colours from this collection as well. So I've got the bright yellows, the pinks and the kind of blue, aqua blues. And you see, I just spend a bit of time working out exactly where I want things to be, and then I'll start to add glue to them. So I've got a rough idea about how I want these things layered up, and I'm going to put that trowel overlapping the fork. So I'm just adding some small pieces of foam to kind of the shovel section of the trowel, and I'm going to fill that in with those extra pieces that you saw me paint silver earlier. They're like the insides of the cut file. and then you can see it's kind of like a full trowel now. You can see there that I've now stitched off camera my gloves, so I've just stitched around the white lines of the gloves just to add a bit of a different texture. I want to add some of these small seed packets that are from one of the patterned papers, so I'm just fussy cutting out some of them to use as ephemera. And I've got the die cut pack and the puffy stickers, so I'm just going to pull out what I think I might want to use for this layout. I've also got that weekend perspective tab from one of the newer collections. So I don't use all these die cuts, but I'm just pulling out all the things that I think are kind of garden related, and that's how I like to work, so that I can see a selection of what I might want to use, and then I can just pick and choose as I wish. So I'm just adding in another couple of gloves down the bottom right hand corner where the trowel and the fork are, and then to the top where the gloves are I've added a smaller trowel and fork out of the die cut pack. I just thought it was quite a cute little thing to do. So I toy around with this puffy watering can, but it doesn't really stick with what I want to do. So like I said, I wanted to add these seed packets, so I'm just going through and I've added a couple in different places. So one laid flat and then a second one kind of layered over the top, lifted up with foam pads for a bit of depth. So now the main body of my embellishment's done, I'm looking at my title, and I'm using this really old Amy Tangerine Thickers set to spell the word green, and then I find out a small alpha set from Pink Fresh Studios that just says fingers. So we're not the most green fingered people, but we do keep trying to keep our garden going. I've got some of these brand new Peartree pieces, which are these lovely felt hearts, so I'm adding a few of them in and around this layout just to pull out the pinks that are dotted around. And then finally it's time to just add some journaling under my title, and then you'll see I do add a few splats of a light green Heidi Swap paint. Thanks for joining me for this process video. Don't forget to check out our details, and all the links are in the description below where you can find loads more inspiration. Bye for now.